Hello! I almost went live on time, but you'd be disappointed, wouldn't you, if you didn't have to wait for a couple of minutes? Of course, no one's waiting, so there's no problem. And I look something like this today. Well, you know, I can't do much about that. And we're going to launch into something a bit strange. I know that it says here, Seminar Saturday, but it's actually Sunday. So I didn't have one that said Sunday, Seminar Sunday. Maybe I should. So I'm going to cover a few things as we transition from the 5-day selfies challenge back into normal events. I see that I'm now live and there's 2 people watching. Hello, 2 people. Say hello in the chat. Leave a comment. I'll just say it once more for you guys. I don't know who you are unless you say your name in the comments. So leave a comment and say, you know, hello from John or whoever you are. And if you want your name and your picture to come up, you need to go to this streamyard.com/Facebook and just say, yes, you can show my name, and then I'll see who you are. Someone says hello, and it's 𝗙𝗔𝗖𝗘𝗕𝗢𝗢. Hi, 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗧. Hello. And I can see who you are. Fantastic. You are a star. All right, let me just go back to ask your questions in the chat. That'll do. All right, so today I'm going to be looking at, I'll show you what I'm going to be looking at. This is me a few seconds ago, so I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to be looking at the grand prize competition, which is the culmination of the 5-day selfies thing, where I asked everyone who took part and had contributed at least 3 photographs on 3 of the days to put their 3 favorite shots. And now, today, right now, you can vote on them. So go to this page, this post, it says grand prize competition. You find it in the announcements in the group, and vote on your 3 favorites. I'll just show you some of the things that we've got here. If you haven't contributed your 3 photographs yet from the challenge, do. You might get less votes because some people have already voted, but that's not a problem. Contributing is the best thing. All right, so we've had Despina with her contribute her blue washing machine, or I don't know what it is actually. She's got a lovely reflection, and the thing was, you post 1 photograph and then you reply to your own photograph with 2 more. How cool is that? Let me get rid of this so we can see what we're doing. All right, that's going to go, and this is going to go, so you can see everything. Another comment. Bonjour Sab. Bonjour Sab. I don't know who you are. Who are you? Leave me. Bonjour Sab from Jackie, or whoever you are. And so this is the thing to do. You put your photograph, then you reply to that photograph with 2 more. Everybody understood, I think, almost. Okay, here's, this is one of my favorites, this one here. Despina with her pencil in her mouth, and the joke was something like, I can never remember, and she sent it to me. What is Shakespeare's biggest dilemma when writing a play? And that is which pencil to use, to be or not to be. It's actually very good. Okay, that was me giving an example. Oh, all right, I'll show you them. This one here, this one here. This one was good. It wasn't taken by me, but it was taken by someone I was with. But I still call it mine because, you know, I'm in it. And what's cool about this is you've got the thing that is surrounding me, these amazing ribbon structure, which was actually in a kind of structure opposite the Louvre Museum. You can see in my camera the same thing. So there's a repetition there. It's clever stuff. And I had more hair in those days as well. And it was only about a year ago. All right, so that was me. Then we've got Yaruska, who really was a star in this challenge. Really amazing, the photographs that she came up with. And she's contributed these, the eye, it's her mother's eye, and she's reflected in her mother's eye. How wonderful is that? And This one was absolutely a favorite of mine. Really, really clever, beautiful photograph. And don't forget, she had to run. She had to set the camera up, get it on timer mode, get it so that it was framed properly so the shot would be the shot she wanted, not have it fall over, you know, which I don't know if you know smartphones, but you try and set them up somewhere, they fall over. And then get in the right position. It's just, and you've got the magazine, the words are echoing what she's actually doing. And she's half in the shot as well. That is so stylish, honestly. So I think you get it. I like those. And a lot of people do as well, actually. Here's Mary, gave her one with the mirror and in bed. Let's look at Mary in bed, shall we? There's Mary in bed. Very nice. I don't think she's really sleeping. And Mary's shadow, framed by these trees. Very nice. Very nice. Because you know what, if you've got your face framed by trees, obviously your face isn't the same texture or color as the trees. But when it's shadows, your shadow and the trees, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's a shadow on grass, which gives it a beautifully unified feel. Excellent. And this wasn't a suggestion I made, you know, this was people getting ideas and running with them. And Karen, this was a very, very popular shot here. Karen looking through these leaves, very, very soft image. Okay. And then we've got Alice. Yes. Oh, hang on. Okay. Yeah. So Karen has these three here. This one, looking at one of my lessons on the screen, which is quite funny. Words of wisdom, it says. And then we have Alice. And then we have Anita. Famous rainbow. The rainbow coming out of her nose. What has she been snorting? She says this one is her, this one. No, wait a minute. This is her favorite. Anita says this one is her favorite. And I'm kind of inclined to agree. I don't know what you guys think. Which one do you think is your favorite shot so far? Of course, go to the post, and the way to vote is simply to leave one word underneath the person whose photos you like. Just one word under the person. It's going to get a bit complicated if you put lots of words under all the photographs. I hadn't thought of that. Never mind. I'll just go by feel. And this is Jackie. Some lovely photographs there. We've got 𝗙𝗔𝗖𝗘𝗕𝗢𝗢, who was also another very inventive participant. Really loads of imagination going on there. Taking part to the full you were, because I think you're watching, and from a simple little, you know, facial expression through to, well, a lot of these photographs were quite simple to take, but they were like no other photographs that you normally take. And then playing with the books. So you can vote for 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗘𝗢𝗢𝗞 if you like. And here's Ingrid, who really got into it as well, with a couple of crazy shots. You can see her personality coming out there, can't you? Jumping into a bathtub or a swimming pool, an empty swimming pool thing for the frame, looking down, I think, with the hair splatting out like that, and a couple of trees behind her. Okay, so it's over to you. Feel free to contribute your 3 photographs if you haven't done so already, and vote. Okay, just go to this thread and leave a word comment underneath each person. Underneath 3 people. Okay, you can vote for 3 people. Leave one word under 3 of the people who have entered. Not yourself and not me. And then I will give you the prizes, or the prize winners at the end. And the prize is a painting of mine. Let me see if I can show you what it might look like. I'm going to go to stick rhythms. I just wanted to show you. I thought the idea would be nice, not to send you a photograph, not to give you money, but to actually give you something a little bit. This isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. No, it's Infinity Squared Boutique. There we are. So I want to give you a desktop painting of mine, which is really quite something. Even if I do say so myself, it's not your normal painting. And I'll just let you see very quickly. So there's lots of different formats. I always paint on 9 squares, 3 by 3. So it's a grid of 9, which makes another big square. And they look a bit like this. So I'm going to take a couple of 3 of these, and I'm going to send them to the 3 winners. These are desktop sizes. They sit on a, I think I've shown them to you before, they sit on a little easel thing like this on your desk. That goes there. And then they have little squares like this, which go to make up a painting. There we are. And you can put them in any order you like. And you can start with any square in the middle, and you can always build up a picture around it. And let me just show you quickly something like this. So this is actually a grid of 9. Does it get bigger? Yes. So it's a grid of 9 shots of the same picture, which have been put together in different ways. If you look at the top right, left, and the bottom right, it looks like a different picture, but it's actually the same picture because you can configure it in any way you like. It has no beginning, it has no end. You can move it up and down, left and right, the pieces. And it's you, the person who acquires it, who decides on its final configuration. You finish the painting. I start it, you finish it. So that's a bit of fun. And you see I play with different styles. You can actually look at these and blow the actual individual ones up there. You see it's standing on its little easel thing. I'll just show you one more in another style I was playing with. More of a, I don't know if it's Japanesey, but you know, red, black, and white was I decided to play with. Okay, so you can see this one in the top left and in the bottom right is the same painting, the same pieces. It's just they've been put together in a different way. And there's lots of texture and there's lots of little funny little bits inside it. You see there's jigsaw pieces, there's coins, which all have a significant value. I mean, I don't mean monetary value, I mean emotional value. There's even little secret pieces. You can see there's a kind of little Eiffel Tower in there. And my signature is probably somewhere. And various different bits of nature. These lines here are from a walk. The coins were maybe, there might be a British penny, there might be a French centime in there. So it's a huge, complex kind of concept, man, that I've built up over my years so far. And I'm going to stick with it. And that's going to be my thing for the rest of my life, I reckon. So that's so much for that. That's the prize. I'm going to send out 3 of those. That's something else. And Showcase Sunday. I started a new Showcase Sunday. And Showcase Sunday is you contribute your photographs that you want to share on a lazy Sunday afternoon or morning. And I know that in the States, you're just waking up on the West Coast. In California or something, it's probably about 9:30 in the morning. In New York type of area, it's on the East Coast, it's just after midday. So you've got plenty of time to contribute on this Showcase Sunday. Any photograph that you want to share, that you're happy with, that you took recently, it should be on your smartphone. Contribute it in this thread here, the Showcase Sunday thread. We've already got some, look. This one's from Karen. It's amazing. It's a beautiful scene. It's absolutely, okay. So I haven't looked at it closely yet. I see it's through a window. She says, it got a little frosty here in Ontario, Canada. Mother Nature painted on my window. This is on a window. Everything you see, the white solid bit at the bottom and these beautiful little shapes, they're like plants, aren't they? They're like fern leaves or fronds or something. It's incredible. I thought they were actually plant bits that had been covered in frost, but they're just frost on the window, which has made a beautiful bottom frame for this very wintry looking scene behind it. She says it was -20. I don't even know what -20 is. When it gets to about 7, I start complaining that it's getting chilly. So there you go. That's a really nice one. And did we have any comments on that? Yeah, we had a bit of feedback there on, I don't know, probably comparing temperatures or something like that. And then this was me contributing to get things rolling. Now I've got well, this comes from my daily Paris photographs. And I had this idea. I thought, instead of just telling you what it is or where it is, I thought, can you guess where it is? And then I thought you guys could do the same. If you have a photograph that has a hint of something that would be fun to put a little quiz in there, then you can. So my one for this is, where is it? Okay, well, it's in Paris. It's obviously in a street in Paris. But there's something about this shot which hints about where it is. And it's near a very famous Paris landmark. Can you guess what it is? You can answer in the chat if you like. Say hello in the chat, say who you are, because I might not know, and say where on earth do you think this could be in Paris? And I'll give you a clue. The color. The color. Think about the color and think about what sidewalk, what pavement this might be on, what might be near this. So there's that. And feel free to do the same. You got any photographs where you could put a little quiz, little question about it, do. Rob contributed, and he contributed this shot. It says, my little city had an ice fishing contest. So if you look down on the bottom, on the left there, it looks like, I don't know if that is Rob, but there's a hole in the ice, and I guess they put holes in the ice and they fish. I just can't imagine what fish could live underneath that, you know, a huge bank of ice in that temperature as well. But anyway, they do, so they're obviously made to. He said, I mainly use my big camera, but this and a few others are from my new cell. I'm still learning this platform change. And this brought on a big discussion about what did he mean by platform change? And it happens that he changed over from Android to iPhone, he says. Something to do with the camera maybe being better or something. And he said, but he was complaining a bit, you know, everything works differently. And I have had that problem as well. When someone has given me a Samsung, I use iPhone. Someone has given me a Samsung, just take a photo, will you? And yeah, but how do you? And then you press a button and it disappears. And so this could be an issue for us to discuss on Techno Tuesday. Techno Tuesday is a theme where we talk about phones, smartphones, or applications, the apps. So I'm going to suggest that as a thread for Tuesday. Differences between Androids and iPhones, for example. That could be quite interesting. And little hints or tips that people have got, that you've got, to make it easier to, or how do you do this on the iPhone? Or how do you do this on a I only know Samsung as the non iPhone type phones. Right, so thanks for that, Rob. Very nice row of houses in the background, by the way. This is from Alice. And Alice says, in contrast to Canada, this shot was taken in the high desert of California in Joshua Tree National Park. This is a legend for me. There's an album by U2, which I don't like. I liked early U2, like 1982 or something, around Sunday Bloody Sunday, and then they kind of didn't do it for me anymore. Anyway, there's a famous thing, an album called The Joshua Tree, and I never realized that it was a place. And it's not a tree either, it's a national park. But I'm kind of guessing that there must be a tree called a Joshua Tree. Is this one? And you know, Alice, she loves her lamps. She came to Paris to see me just to take pictures of lamps. So I was wondering if she'd managed to find a lamp that she put behind this. It's an amazing tree, isn't it? Reminds me of the monkey puzzle trees a tiny bit. She's got that. She says, I decided to put the bun in. You know what? I think autocorrect has changed sun into a word beginning with a capital B, which says bun in. I decided to put the bun in the photo. I don't know what a bun is doing in there, but anyway, maybe it's a bun. Maybe there's a bun somewhere that we should look for. Okay, so that's there. Contribute. It's called, the thread is called Showcase Sunday. and I would like you to contribute any photograph that you want to share with us and get comments. Comment on another couple as well. That's what makes the photo love go round, n'est-ce pas? You contribute one and you make a comment on a couple of others. So you've got that to do. You've got this. No, that's something else I'm going to tell you about in a second. You've got this to comment on, grand prize competition, and I'll do another of these probably tomorrow and give you the winners. And a new theme for Monday, okay? There'll be a new Mystery Monday theme coming tomorrow. And that'll be for you to shoot on for the rest of the week. And it won't have anything to do with selfies. Selfies is finished. It's gone. It's out of here. Now, I wanted to show you something else. Someone told me that there's another group called Creative Smartphone Photography. And I thought, what? How dare they? Except they came before me. So I had a look. I think it was 𝗙𝗔𝗖𝗘𝗕𝗢𝗢. You told me that there's another group. So I looked for it and oh, wait a minute. Yeah, sorry. My membership of that is still pending, but I found another group called Digital Photography School. So I wanted to look at this. You're looking at a London mug today, folks. This, not this. And this is the Digital Photography School. It's another private group like ours. And how does it compare? Well, we've got about 100 members and they've got about 100 million. So there's that as a difference. They've got this shot. It's a very interesting shot as the cover thing. It's actually 3 spoons which are reflecting some music. Very beautiful shot. Anyway, that's just a random shot. So I read the rules very carefully. No promotion, be polite and all the rest of it. But they did ask for contributions. They said you can share your photographs. So I thought I would share a photograph in this group with 125,218 members. I'm number 125,218, I think. So I thought I would see what the atmosphere is like, try not to make any faux pas, any mistakes, and contribute my photograph. You'll see it in a second. So this is what the weekly challenge is: street photography, kind of up my street. That's kind of my thing. So that sounds good. And then they have a picture of a sky with some mountains and a lake, which is, the problem is it's kind of random. I'm not sure if our group is random, but it's kind of random. When you've got 125,000 people, you're likely to get a kind of random bunch of contributions. And it doesn't seem to have any themes. And also, people don't seem to say anything. I mean, look, this is absolutely what I hate. This shot here, it says sunset Skikta, Algeria. Okay, fine. But, I want a bit of personal, what was the person doing there? Why did they take it? How does it make them feel? Give me some personality. The next one, it's a bunch of fruit. I think they're more into sort of beautiful, technically perfect photographs. Whereas I'm looking for more soul, more passion. They would. Yeah, I'll tell you something else in a minute. This one, it doesn't have any comment whatsoever. It's just like a photo dumping ground. And then people are what? People are supposed to do what? I don't know, really. There's no personality. Looks like a painting. Stunning, looks like a painting, someone said. And the person says, thank you, Roxy. So, there's not much going on in there, despite their 125,000 members. There's another one. Someone's used a slow shutter speed to make the water look like mist. No comment. And I think it's even been posted from somewhere else, so nothing much is going on there. This is mine. Oh my God, now this guy, look at this. He's actually put a comment about it. Yeah. I just wanted to go down one more. No, okay, there's somebody, there's a, I thought I saw something somewhere I wanted to comment on. You see, it's a real mishmash of stuff. I just wanted to, there's nature photographs. No, I'm not finding what I was looking for. They're very beautiful photographs and they're taken on probably expensive SLRs, not smartphone photography. Although you could take stuff like this on smartphone photography, on cameras. A lot of it's about the lighting, about being in the right place. Yeah, beautiful photographs, but you know, you could have taken similar shots on a smartphone, I would say. I'm not finding the one that I did see, and it was a picture taken from a plane looking down on the edge of Britain, and there were these kind of stacks going into the sea, and it was absolutely amazing. And the only comment the poor guy got was something like, "It's a bit pink." You know, I mean, come on. They're not really appreciating the photograph. They're more into the technical aspects. So I can't actually find it. So I'm going to go back up to my shot. So there's a lot of people posting. Now, I posted this, it says 3 hours ago, or maybe 4 hours ago, in the Digital Photography School group. You know, it's a fairly interesting shot, I think, pretty amazing, beautiful, if you like, or just weird, or certainly it's maybe not very realistic in terms of colors. The guy who commented on the others and said it's a bit pink, you know, stunning photograph, it's a bit pink, would probably think that this is a bit yellow. That would probably be his, you know, major contribution to appreciating my posting of this shot. So after 3 or 4 hours in this group of 125,000 people, and a comment and an introduction as a new member, I have 0 likes and 0 comments. So I think we'll close that window for now. And you can give me comments if you like. And I did want to tell you guys that my registration for my masterclass is open now. Early bird pricing is available. And for you guys, you have another special pricing, which is even lower. It's called Friends pricing. So if you go to this page, you can see links to it in practically everything. I won't go on about it much, but I will put links to it in everything that I post probably, but I won't go on about it. But do check out the page because it's kind of worth checking out, I would say. It's my 9-week masterclass where I put everything into this course. Everything I have learnt, but focusing on making it a useful course for people who want to go from, you know, pretty crappy snappies on their phone or even on a normal camera to amazing stuff. And I really want this to be the only photography course you will ever need. From here, you can go on and you're your own master after that. That's what I did. I did a course like this many years ago, and that was enough. Then I knew where to improve and how to improve from there. Not even doing other courses, sure, you know, you got to be humble about it. But once you've got the basics, really, it's about developing the eye, and it's getting out there and shooting and shooting and shooting. So this will be a wonderful course, a really wonderful course. I'm really excited about it. It happens in 2 weeks. And if you go to this page, it's infinitecreativity.now.com/masterclass-photo with a link everywhere in the group. You'll see it says early bird pricing. And there's a coupon code. It says early bird in capitals. But don't enter early bird. Enter friends in capitals, okay? Enter the word friends in capitals. When you click here to join on any of these, you can pay by PayPal or you can pay by normal credit card. You go here. I'll stop talking about this in a second, please. Don't go away. And here, if you click, it says $297 for a 9-week intensive personalized course. So if you type in early bird and click, it turns into 197. But if you type friends and click, it turns into 147 just for you guys. So I would do that if I were you. And let me show you, I'll get back to some photographs in a second. Let me just show you very quickly the true majesty of this page that I've created. It's this long page going on and on, but it's actually quite interesting. This is a video. I don't know if I can play it for you or not. Let's see. I'll see if it works. Hi guys, this is Sab here in Paris, and today I want to tell you about my brand new photography masterclass. It's a creative smartphone photography masterclass. I've never done anything like this before. That's amazing. I just clicked on the video and it went full screen. That's stunning. I won't play it all now because that's not what this is about. But there it is. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so you can also pay by PayPal. If you click on the link below, if you prefer PayPal, or you've got a huge amount of money just waiting to be spent on my course, then click on PayPal. All right, so I talk about, there's my photograph that nobody commented on. My photographs are awful. My smartphone photographs are awful is the name of this. But this might be what you're thinking, you know, that your shots are awful. Well, I take all my shots. All the shots you see on this page are taken on my telephone, and not always the latest model either. That's really got nothing to do with it. You see all of these shots, they're all me wandering around Paris, taking pictures as I see, and then playing around with them afterwards. Ah, I wondered where that went. So my thing is, my shots are, everything is done on my telephone. That's my kind of little framing that I've given myself. It's good if you give yourself a frame. It's a bit like Picasso in his blue period. Paint anything you like, but make it blue. I'm not sure if that's what his thing was, but that's the idea. So my thing is, I've given myself a couple of limitations, but hopefully they're creative ones. You give yourself a limitation, like a frame, within which you have to be as creative as possible. And it forces you to be even more creative than just not having any boundaries. So mine is, I do it on my iPhone. I process them on my iPhone as well with apps. And that's it. That is the final product. I might maybe resize them again somewhere else, but nothing else changes. And my thing is square as well. I've decided to go for square. Like my paintings are square, made up of little squares. I've decided to standardize on squares. And I did that a few years ago, and I'm still going. It's a worrying restriction, actually, squares, because you've immediately taken away the ability to play with the long side and the short side of the photograph. It's kind of scary, actually. You know, it's not a minor thing to do. As soon as you don't have the square restriction, you can do anything you like with the format of the photograph. Can you imagine? So it's a huge restriction. And yet that restriction has made me more creative in photography than I have ever been in my life. And I can't see any end to it. So that's quite an interesting thing. It's something we can discuss. We'll discuss in the masterclass, I'm sure, how to get creative, how to make ourselves creative. And sometimes that comes through some of the strangest things you might imagine. So I'm talking about the different modules. There's 5 modules, and there's 9 weeks, but there's 5 modules. And I'll do a special Facebook Live specifically on this. So I just wanted to show you. Okay, then there's some bonuses, and that's it, you see. Personal success guarantee. Testimonials from some of you guys. Right, you guys who did the selfies challenge gave me some testimonials, and I'm using them. Here you are, look. There's Mary, there's Tinkuza, there's Despina, there's Yaruska, there's Alice. I've used you. You are stars in my eyes. And then there's some guy here called Sab who makes some other strange comment. And this is a bit about me, not too much. Frequently asked questions about the masterclass. Lots of opportunities to click and join. And this says, this is an interesting part because you'll have a mission. You have a mission on the masterclass. And it says your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to develop your photographer's eye, master your smartphone camera, and produce a superb collection of original photos under 9 inspiring themes in just 9 weeks to impress your friends and be extremely proud of. That's your challenge, and that's what you will do. And at the end, we're going to have an exhibition. Everybody who does the masterclass will have an exhibition, either a very simple, modest one in the private group, you know, with no worries, we'll all know each other, or a real live one where you put your pictures on the wall, on paper, and have people come and see them, or you give an exhibition in a gallery, or it could be in your living room to your family. You know, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, this is our objective, this is our mission, and we finish with that. And it'll be celebrated in the group, and it'll be videoed. We'll be watching you live if you do it in your home or somewhere, or you can do the presentation on a Facebook Live and you present your photographs, and we admire them. And So that's it. It's really fun. It's going to be just so good, so good. Okay, there we are. Action. If you don't take action, nothing happens. You take action, anything can happen. And yeah, there was just one more thing I wanted to show you, which is what I normally do on the Saturday webinar, which I call the Saturday Sabinar. And let's have a quick look at my latest photographs. The only thing is I haven't set this page up. So, you know, I take photographs every week. I'm really behind. I'm about a week or two behind. It's terrible. And here we are. Oh, no. That's not it. That's not it. Bear with me. So my thing is to take photographs of Paris and to publish them every day with a text. And I recommend you do the same. There's something about creating every day and sharing every day that is just marvelous. It really does inspire you. Now, I have to go backwards here. You see I'm behind. I've got the kind of sneak preview of the 9 shots here, which does get bigger. And you can see them all there, but I haven't actually done them yet. It's terrible. Look, all of those are waiting. There's not a single one. There's just one of me with my teapot. And if we go back, it's kind of the same story, I think. Let's have a look. So I'm so behind. I haven't talked about them for ages. This one is, okay, here we go. This actually gives you the secret to where those red things are. Let's see if I can find it. Showcase Sunday. Right, I don't know if any of you found it. I asked you the question, where do you think this is? And I'll tell you where it is. Because if you look at this group shot, there's a clue. And I told you that the clue is in the color. So can you see anything red in this shot? You probably can. And those big pots are outside the Moulin Rouge. Excuse me, this is a shot I took the other day. I decided to investigate Montmartre. I haven't been around Montmartre for quite a while. And I know, although I know some of the streets like the back of my hand, there are lots of streets I don't know. So I thought I would wander around. Obviously, this is a street I do know. But with any monument, any famous monument, you can use it as a challenge. Say, for example, your town has one famous monument. And you could say that Paris, it has the Eiffel Tower. Obviously, it's the #1 thing people think of. Try to photograph that on a regular basis in as many original ways as possible, never taking the same shot. And because we have applications on our smartphones, we can do that. We can play with applications so that you can, you know, even if the weather isn't amazingly different, you know, like Monet, he painted Rouen Cathedral or lilies or something. Again and again with different lighting and stuff. We can take shots in different lighting from different positions with different framing, etc., different angles. But after we've taken the shot, we can then play around with all of the thousands of apps that exist as well to take it to another level of creativity. So I'm really pleased with this. I haven't taken the Moulin Rouge for a long time, and I produced this, and I think it's super. I really, really like it. Really happy with that. So that was where the those red pots were. Okay, they were actually on the sidewalk, on the pavement in front of the Moulin Rouge. I think they're linked to it, unless, yeah, I think it was. All right, what else have we got here? Let's just have a look through some of these. All right, so this one, I don't think I've talked about these ones before, unless it slipped into my last photo analysis of my shots. I was in a train station, standing in the metro, waiting for a train, surprisingly enough, looked across and up above my head on the other platform. Sometimes I'm interested by people on the other side of the lines, what they're doing, you know, just sitting, waiting, reading, looking at their phones and stuff. But when I looked up, there was this beautiful natural frame. When I say natural, I mean, I didn't have to create a frame. It's not natural in that it's trees or anything, but there it was. It was a frame just waiting for something to be in it, something to be framed in it. And there's this electricity wire going across it. So all I needed was a story, you know, some I was going to say humanity, but some movement, some life. And what happens on lines, electricity lines? Well, birds sit on them. So there were birds sitting on them, and there was a bit of sort of rivalry going on, like a couple of guys probably fighting over a woman. And I was looking for a story. And the story I ended up with, no, actually, before I was looking for a story, I was just looking for one flying, and I got them. So I did have a shot of this with one flying away. So that could have been one story. But in the end, I didn't go with that. I often go with birds flying. This time I went for something a little simpler, less spectacular, because the blurred wings and stuff, it's always a special shot. It always looks lovely, and you'll have to wait for it. You know, you don't just get it like that. It requires patience and foresight. You have to imagine that the bird is going to fly off and capture the moment. I went for something much simpler. I went for the theme of, well, what would you call this theme? For me, it's the poor guy on the left who has been told to get out. He's actually literally out of the frame whilst the two are sitting close together. So I really like that. You know, I'm imagining it, but maybe it's true. You know, maybe the two on the right are a couple, and the other one is the poor reject who didn't get the gal. I'll just say one more thing as well. I've obviously played around with it, and I won't go into too many details because I like to leave a bit of the mystery. You know, you either like it or you don't, but you try and imagine how certain things happen. It's a very pale shot. It's all this uniform, but a dash of color doesn't hurt. So there's this lovely strong green band going across the bottom, but that needs to be balanced. And it's kind of balanced by this top triangle in the right, which not only does it have a dash of orange through some strange manipulation, but it's got this line closing it off as well. You see this other electricity line closing off that top right-hand corner. It's quite subtle. There's the line and there's the dash of orange. And that, for me, completes it. It gives it a bit, you know, closes that corner in a very, very satisfying way. Feel free to comment, feel free to say hello, feel free to ask questions. This one has become my profile shot. It's a selfie, of course, and it's a bit of graffiti. Paris is a superb city for graffiti, and there are some places where there's a lot of it. This is a very famous piece of graffiti, actually. I think it's by a guy called 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And it's funny, this wall was in a neighborhood. They redid the wall at one point, and his work was left. They painted the wall around it. So instead of graffiti artists like him defacing the wall, when they paint it, they now try to not deface his graffiti, which is a rather pleasing turnaround. You know, what is it that turns street art from something which makes a place look ugly to something that people don't want to damage? And it's kind of a huge combination of things, really, I guess. He's well known, so his work is now art. It's not just someone spraying some crap on a wall. And it's unique. You know, I've never seen this before anywhere else in Paris, this particular image. It's a striking image. It's positive, it's funny, it's fun. There's a musical instrument. It's just become part of the landscape. And for that, it would be a tragedy if it went, I think. And then I slapped my head in the middle of it, underneath his legs, to try and create a new image. There's no point taking a picture of the guy leaping. That's somebody else's work. As a photographer who tries to be original, that would be recording somebody else's work, even if I threw in a few colors. So I added, well, you see what I did. This is an interesting one. This was part of my wander around. Let me do something here. I just want I'm just going to sign out, see if it gives me a bit of... Oh, I did something that I shouldn't have done. Let's see if I can get back to where I was. I was trying to get rid of that top bar to give me more space. Yep, I'm back without the top bar. Super. Yeah, this was part of my wandering around